So, first question. We'll start by looking back and then before we look forward. So obviously you're looking at your last fight, which was against Jeff Ofori in August. Obviously you came through the 10 round points victory. Haven't had the time to reflect now. How do you rate your performance?
For me, it's probably my worst performance I've had so far in my boxing career. So yeah, not a great performance to be honest with you. But like you say, we've moved on. We've managed to get the win. Um, so we just move on now and put that behind us. I learned from that one. And yeah, so yeah, not a great performance. So probably a one.
You claimed in an interview that big changes need to be made after that performance. Is that why you've moved to the iBox gym to train under Alan Smith?
Yeah, so I think regarding making the big changes, there's a few things I knew that needed to be changed. Whether it was bringing in a new team, adding to my original team, there was definitely something that needed to be done. So I spoke. I think we both come to the decision that we've basically been together for so long now we probably outrun our course. Um, and yes, we've just moved on from there. So we both. So basically, me and Richard, been Richard since day one. He's more family than just my trainer. So we both knew after that fight there had to be some sort of changes, and we both come to a mutual decision that going to Alan Smith and moving on was what we needed to do.
So obviously you've moved to the new gym. How much are you enjoying it? Only been there, a limited time so far.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm very much enjoying it. Loads actually. I didn't realise I'd enjoy it this much. I've got myself a good buzz back to boxing. Like I said, I kind of got flat in the last few fights, and being back with Al is great. Me and him are flying at the minute, and he's very impressed with the progress that we've done in a short space of time.
Do you have that sort of feeling when you go into training where it's like you can't wait to be there? You can't wait to be around the guys in there and just work hard.
Yeah, so it reminds me back of obviously when I was a bit younger in the amateurs. Always being surrounded by a good team, a great group of guys, athletes at a very high level, and it's the same again now. I am probably the oldest one in the gym at the minute. I'm only 25, but the others are young. They're all coming through, but it's good because it gives me a kick up the arse to get back training and compete like healthy competition again instead of training on my own all the time, which I was previously doing. You, there's no records to beat because it's always me doing it myself. Do you know what I mean? So now being surrounded by everyone, it gives me that boost again. So yeah, it's like I say, it's brought back the old Archie Sharp, and I feel like everyone's going to see the real me back when I get back fighting.
Yeah, for sure. So how far do you think you can take you in terms of your career? Obviously, you've just changed quite early on in your career, but you're at quite it's an important part of your career now. You're looking to push on. So how far can you take you?
Very experienced trainer, and he believes in my ability as much as I do myself, and that's what I need really. Richard's always believed in me. Going over to Al, and like I say, he's worked with some great fighters. He's been around Jimmy Tibbs. He's been around some great trainers. Um, and for him to even believe in my ability and say that he generally does believe he can see me going on winning world titles. That's a great confidence boost. Anyway, I've always believed in myself, in my own ability. But it's even that much better when someone who you're working with who's going to take you that next level. So that's where I'm at this stage of my career now. I've got all the ability in the world, I've got all the skills in the box, but it's just a matter of bringing them out on fight night. Um, and like I say, I think I do believe Al is that man.
Obviously, he was on BT Sport the fight, and after the fight, obviously you were very open in your interview, but so was Andy Lee as a analysis, for the BT Sport. So how did you feel when he made those comments, and have you taken them on board as constructive criticism, or did you find them maybe a tad harsh because you'd been out of the ring for a while?
Look, to be honest with you, obviously, regarding the performance itself, look, I got the win. It just goes to show, since everyone's come back from lockdown, down, how many people have been struggling. To be honest with you, there's been a lot of fights out there where people thought we was going to win. There's been a lot of upsets. So it just goes to show it's not just myself there. I managed to get through with a win. There's other fighters who have come back expecting to win and actually lost. So yeah, I think it's a bit harsh there. But regarding the whole weight situation, I know he did say about the reach of unprofessionalism, but listen, you see, this boxing game is a very, very political game, and things that went on a couple of days before the fight that maybe shouldn't have. But regarding making weight, listen, I've never fouled weight, and I shouldn't have even fouled weight that day. But like I say, if it wasn't for Frank and MTK, um, believe it, like, having the great support that they have been, they knew what the real reason was, and yeah, so we got through it, and like I say, I was able to still box. So I just take it as criticism how it is, and it puts me in a good position, because when I come back, everyone's going to see the big change.
I hope so. I hope so. So obviously, I'm a huge boxer fan myself, but whenever you Google Archie Sharp, you get a huge knockout against Declan, Garrity. Obviously on YouTube, it comes up all the time. Just talk to me, is that the best moment of your career so far?
A great memory so far in my boxing career, but winning the WBO European it got me to number 15 in the world, and now obviously my ranking's number 4 in the WBO world ranking. So winning the WBO, I'd probably say, is my big highlight, regarding get me on the platform, get my name out there. I think since winning that fight is where my name started coming out there. Um, and then yeah, the Declan Garrity fight was definitely a sweet punch, and it was nice. It was definitely a very memorable night.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what was the aftermath like? Directly after the fight, in the ring, just how you get back to the change rooms, and then obviously the night as well. What was that night like?
Yeah, buzzing, absolutely buzzing. Because the thing is, as you all know, I was definitely coming behind on the scorecards. But this is boxing. This is why we have 10 and 12 rounds, because you do have fighters who are slow starters. And unfortunately, that night I was a bit slow, but I knew it was just a matter of time. And with Declan, watching him against John O'Carroll, he does fade, and he took his eye off the ball, and he got caught with a big shot. And so yeah, aftermath was good. It was very enjoyable. Everyone was happy. I was on a high, so yeah, no, it was good.
Yes, that's the feeling. That's why you box, isn't it? That's why you compete at this level, for those huge feelings and those
Yeah,
nights.
and it was very respectful as well. I spoke to Declan after. I was on the way home. Actually, I did drop him a message, and he replied. So yeah, it is what it is, and it was a big fight for me, really, because I know he lost to Jono at a very good level. Jono got a draw after that, and I boxed for a world title. So that was Declan's kind of bounce back fight, if you like. So I knew I had to be on my A game.
Yeah, definitely. It was a great watch, and it was a great night, definitely. Considering the current climate and everything that is going on, is there any fight news for yourself that you can tell us about, or is it all kind of under wraps for now?
Well, I'm just hoping to get out as soon as possible, really. I'm just waiting on Frank, the team, and MTK to kind of give me a date. I see there was another show released yesterday that Tommy Fury and it's going to be on the rematch of Bentley and Heffron. So there's another date there. You've got the 28th of November and I believe the 5th of December. So there's 3 shows before Christmas. I'm so hoping to get on either one of them shows.
Sure. Obviously, people have been calling you to fight other British fighters such as Sam Bowen and Selfa Barrett. Do any of those fights appeal to you right now, or would you want to just target the WBO belt and keep working way up the rankings as soon as possible?
Well, to be honest with you, that's basically where I'm at at the minute. Like I said, number 4 in the world. And look, if Frampton goes and beats Jamal Herring, then there's a British fight there on your hands with myself and Carl Frampton. So yeah, there's a big fight there. But no, them sort of fights really don't bother me. Sam Bowen, you know what, I forgot about him. I forgot he even boxed. I forgot he was even a boxer anymore. So I completely forgot about that. But yeah, Zelfa's doing his own thing. He's doing well. We've done an interview before. He's on his little path where he wants to go. I'm on my path, and at some point, if we're both at the top, then we're both going to end up meeting at some point. So yeah, but for a minute, my eye is definitely set on WBO world title.
I mean, the name of Cole Frampton, he's such a big name. You know, he's everyone knows who he is. And if you did manage to get that fight, I mean, it's for you just as a media standpoint, PR standpoint, career standpoint. It's a huge opportunity for you, isn't it?
1,000,000%. And the thing is, as well, the thing with Carl Frampton is it'd be a very honourable moment to be in the ring with someone like himself. I've shared the ring with him in sparring a few times, but to actually go and actually box him and go on and beat Frampton, would be unreal. Do you know what I mean? Because he was one of them fighters that growing up always watched and honoured. So and there's no disrespect in it. I still what's the word? But I still respect him as a fighter and what he's done. Definitely in the fight game, he's done unbelievable. And but it's business at the end of the day, and he's where I want to be at the minute, and that's the man that's got to come. They've got to be beaten, and that's the man that's got to be beat at the end of the day. It's just as simple as that, really. Business, but yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great.
How do you see the fight with him and Jamal Owen, playing out? How do you see it?
Well, I've always said I think Jamal Herring beats Carl Frampton. I've always said that, and after Jamal's last performance, same again, really. I know everyone's had bad fights coming back out of lockdown, but based on that fight with Okendo, I do believe Frampton has got a lot more of a chance than I gave him at the start. Um, if Jamal turns up and sticks to his boxing game and keeps Frampton long, then I think Jamal will outbox him. But if he tries to sit in with pocket with him like he done on his last fight, then we're gonna have a different fight on our hands.
Is there no preference for you who you would want to fight out the two, or is it just getting that big fight?
No, not at all. It's just about me getting a big fight. Obviously, ideally Frampton because obviously the history and the man who he is. But so Jamal's got to be taken out, and Jamal has to be taken out. So it's either one really.
I did see some of the Twitter beef that goes on. Obviously, you haven't been too active on Twitter in terms of like that, but I did see that pop up. Is that something that does he get under your skin a little bit, or is he just someone who just needs to be, taught a lesson?
But you know what? This for me, for what he had to say, he's in a win-win situation, and really, because if he thinks it's that easy or I struggled that much, then for him it's an easy defence. There's another defence on his belt. It'd be an easy one. So I said to him, take the fight because listen, I've had my eyes set on this WBO now for a long time, and now for a very long time, and when my night comes of me actually fighting for the WBO world title, I think everyone will see my A game then. So yes, I'm just looking forward to it. So Jamel can say whatever he wants to say. We will share the ring one day if he's still got that world title. Because I'm coming. You know what I mean? I'm ranked number 4. I'm still climbing that ladder.
It's definitely a press conference I want to see now. Obviously, in terms of the rankings, obviously you have Frampton and Herring fighting each other next, and that leaves the only people above you are Oscar Valdez, Shakur Stevenson, and Jeremiah nakafila. Out of all those, the fighters named there, the three who aren't fighting at the moment, nakafila seems to become to be the worst out of the three. Is there any sense in you fighting him and taking advantage of his position in the rankings?
He's like the dark horse in there, isn't he? So there's not much on him at the minute. I've not seen him fight. I don't really know much about him. I know he's got a very good record there. Is it a padded record? I don't know. Don't know the fighter well enough. Tries to do research on him. But look, if they fight him for the mandatory, that's not something that I'll shy away from at all. Fight anyone. I'm ranked number 4 for a reason, so I'm not going to shy away from any fight. I belong at that level. So if it gets ordered, then it gets ordered. But ideally, yeah, be the likes of, Shakur would be lovely. I'd like to fight Shakur. I think he's a great fighter. I remember watching him in the Olympics. But same again, I just feel how would he perform when he's got an actual counter puncher there? Will it throw his game? So and then Oscar Valdez. So it'll be a great experience spending with them fighters. I don't shy any fight to be honest with you. So wherever they throw at me.
It's a great division. I mean, with the fighters named there, there's a couple of really big names there, and obviously someone like Shakur Stevenson's getting so much hype and so much praise already, having, great start to his career, but, he's young, hasn't really been proven at the top level too much so far. If facing these guys, I mean, do you find yourself, you want to be put in that bracket as soon as possible?
Yeah, as soon as possible for me, because at the end of the day, I am one of them fighters who shine when it's time to shine. When the odds are against me, then I definitely come to light, and I think that's fair to say. I ain't no newbie to this boxing game. I've been in the game since 7 years old. I've won multiple national titles, 8 or 9 national titles. Boxed GB 20 odd times, so it's not like I'm new to all this. And I think the sooner I get these big fights, and the sooner I can make and show people what it's all about.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, last question for you here is, in your own words, just how do the next 6 months play out for you?
For the next 6 months, like I say, I'm hoping to be out before Christmas. Ideally with a good fight. I've looked at fighters like Kiko Martinez, other fighters who have won world titles or boxing world titles. So that's ideally my next opponent. I don't really want any stepping stones. I've had enough of them. And I think it's fair to say that when I've got them sort of fights, you don't see the best of me. So I want these bigger fights, European level and above. So that's my ideal. So before Christmas, like I said, a nice big fight with someone who's been at very high level. So yeah, that's where I'm at really, and I'm just waiting to see how the Frampton and Jamal Herring fight plans out when that fight happens. I've heard say it's in January. It could be before Christmas. I'm not too sure yet. So that's basically my next 6 months really is get a good fight in, either for another WBO belt or defend the European, whatever has to be done. Just I am and push myself higher because I like to be active in the WBO as everyone knows. So yeah, that's my next. That's my next couple of moves, and hopefully they'll go to plan.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, definitely good luck to you as well.
But
I
this
mean, I can't wait.
coronavirus, I appreciate. I was just saying, with this coronavirus, everything's all up in the air. Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit hard to gauge what's going on at the minute.
Yeah, just try and look and just take your chances whenever they come, and I guess you got those 2 cards to aim for, haven't you, for the end of the year?
Exactly that. That's all I can do at the minute. To John.
Yeah, so thanks so much, mate. It's like I say, it's an honour to speak to someone who's up and rising. Going to be at the top very soon, in my opinion. And like I said, I can't wait to see your next fight as well. Huge fan. So
I appreciate that, John. Thank you. And I know it's been a bit hard work us getting on the interview, but listen, you got my number. Just call whenever, mate, and we can always schedule an interview for sure.
Oh, that's great. Hopefully after your next fight, it'd be great to just try and catch you after that.
Yeah, lovely, mate. No problem at all. Like I say, thank you for having me on.
No worries, mate. Thanks. Take care.
God bless, mate. Yeah, all the best. Take care.